Why are some people addicted to drama in their lives? Have you ever known someone whose life never seems to have a moment of peace? It's always a new crisis, an unresolved argument, a wave of emotion surging from one thing to the next, as if they are moving within a self-created storm where they are the eye. Or perhaps, in your most honest moments, you recognize a quiet urge within yourself, a strange feeling of emptiness when things are too calm, an invisible craving for a bit of conflict, a bit of emotional intensity, to break the monotony of flat, uneventful days. What truly drives this psychological addiction to drama, to chaos? And why do some people find it impossible to imagine their lives without it, even when they know full well it's draining them? The answer doesn't lie in them simply being dramatic, but is buried deep within unconscious drives, unmet emotional needs, and even biological mechanisms that literally rewire their brains. To understand this, we must move past surface-level judgments and step into the complex inner world where drama is not just an external issue, but an internal survival strategy. From a psychological perspective, the pursuit of drama can be examined through several key lenses, each revealing a piece of the puzzle. One of the most powerful theoretical frameworks comes from attachment theory. Imagine a child growing up in an unpredictable family environment, where love and attention are not constants, but erratic rewards, appearing only during times of tension, crisis, or high conflict. For that child, peace is no longer associated with safety. On the contrary, it signals distance, the caregiver's indifference. Only chaos, yelling, tears, the elements of drama, could trigger a response and connection from significant others. Over time, the brain learns that drama equals attachment, that conflict is the language of love. As an adult, that person may unconsciously recreate these scenarios in relationships, work, and friendships. They might provoke pointless arguments, feel drawn to unstable partners, or feel restless and anxious when things go too smoothly, because that peace, to their nervous system, feels like a prelude to abandonment. The familiarity of drama, however painful, is more bearable than the terror of an unknown silence. Another perspective comes from neurobiology and the concept of emotional regulation. Imagine a person's emotional system as a gauge, with a needle swinging between low states, boredom, emptiness, numbness, and high states, anxiety, fear, excitement. Some people have a malfunctioning gauge. They struggle to generate and maintain normal levels of arousal or meaning from daily activities. They live in a constant state of emotional flatness. In this context, drama emerges as a powerful regulator. Conflict, crisis, even self-inflicted trouble trigger a flood of stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. Heart rate increases, the mind becomes highly focused, the world suddenly seems sharp and dramatic. In essence, they are using drama as a stimulant to jolt themselves out of emotional numbness. It's like pinching oneself to feel alive. Furthermore, after the storm passes, there is often a phase of reconciliation, sudden attention from others, or a sense of relief, all of which provide a temporary boost of positive hormones like oxytocin and dopamine. This cycle, flatness, stress-induced arousal, relief, can become behaviorally addictive. The person becomes dependent on these artificial emotional peaks to feel alive, much like an addict needs a fix to feel normal. Finally, we cannot overlook the role of identity and life scripts. According to psychoanalytic thought, each of us writes an unconscious life script, an inner story about who we are and our role in the world. For some, their core identity is built around roles like the rescuer, the victim, or the hero in tragedy. Drama provides the necessary stage for these roles to be performed. If a person defines themselves through overcoming hardship or enduring suffering, then a peaceful life offers no material for their story. They need a villain, an obstacle, a crisis to maintain a sense of purpose and meaning. In their eyes, no drama equates to no identity. They become a faint supporting character in their own life. At the same time, drama provides a simple structure for complex experiences. There is a clear villain, clear pain, and a potential resolution. The complexity and nuance of daily life, with its small successes, simmering disappointments, and relationships requiring subtle communication, can feel too vague and unsatisfying. Drama reduces that complexity into an understandable play, where they are always the protagonist. So, what do we take from this understanding? That addiction to drama is rarely about loving chaos, but about fleeing from a deeper pain or an inner void. It is the language of a wounded child trying to feel connected, the strategy of a nervous system trying to self-regulate, the plot of a self seeking a story to live by. Recognizing this in oneself or others is not for labeling or condemnation, but to see the helplessness behind the proactive behavior, the deprivation behind the emotional excess. The way out of this spiral lies not in condemning drama, but in learning to tolerate peace, building the capacity for internal emotional regulation, and courageously writing a new life script where your worth is not defined by the storms you weather, but by the stillness you can hold and the peace you can cultivate. Perhaps the greatest challenge is not to create drama, but to remain in the quiet long enough to hear the true whisper of your own heart, a whisper that doesn't need thunder to be heard.